Jackson, one of the greatest players, one of the all-time greatest coaches. Shout out. I want to talk about Lebanon. Prayers for Lebanon. I've never seen something so massive happen and we don't see it on TV. We don't hear about it on the media. Like what really happened in Lebanon? And it's so crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the one and only, you know him from Fast and Furious, you know him from Transformers. Yo, Tyrese, you sideways, bro.
Good. What's
Yo, Tyrese, you sideways. This is the big show. Often imitated, often duplicated, but we are the authentic. No one close. Tyrese. Man, he frozen, man. Damn. Let's do it again, Ty. Let's do it again. Oh, yes. The big show. Shout out to Allen Iverson. That was legendary, huh? Shout out to Allen Iverson. That show was legendary. Goes down in history. What up, Butter? Killing these guys. And I ain't gonna lie to you. If you're not a fan of mine, if you're a hater, you're an enemy, I gotta be killing you. This must be a nightmare. It must be a nightmare to see me every day bringing the biggest artists, actors in the game. It hurts. Yo.
Yes, sir.
Tyrese, what's up, my brother? I can't hear you a little louder. Let's get it popping. You know this ain't but Instagram.
Yeah, my volume is all the way up. Can you hear me? Can you see
I
me?
hear you now, Tyrese. I hear you now, boy. Let me tell you, that makes 2 this week. Sexy Chocolate. I had Michael Vick on here. Now we got Tyrese today. Sexy Chocolate. The ladies are winning right now.
Chocolate is spreading.
Yo, Ty, one thing, right? Let's get to it because I see you always have a lot of love for everybody. But definitely I've seen you a lot in Arab countries and Muslim countries. Like what happened in Lebanon, we're praying for Lebanon, but I don't see nothing about it in the media. So I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Well, you know, the thing is, man, we as Black people or people of ethnicity in America, for many, many years, we've dealt with feeling like our traumas and our moments don't end up on television to get any attention. And it just goes to show you that this is why we need our own networks, because we can't rely on them to shed light on our wins or any of our traumas. And if they do shed light on it, you might see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen, but it's not anything that they're actually talking about. You know, we all know that the orange man Trump is taking up all the headlines with everything that he's doing with all his goofy shit.
All this buffoonery.
Yeah, buffoonery, clown shit. But at the end of the day, I think the power of social media allow for us to send those prayers and shed light on things that may not end up on Fox News or CNN, because in the midst of us being concerned about the great people of Lebanon, we would love live updates on how everybody's doing.
That's right.
You know, I put up this Instagram post. I piss people off all the time because I'm very honest. And I said, you know, here we are with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud and just kind of all of these things that we're dealing with. And yet A-list Hollywood were very, very public with this outpouring of love and posting in social media when the Amazon fires were happening in Australia. And so in my mind, you know, Australia's burning and we were all worried, including me. But let's keep that same energy going where you have no shame about speaking up and speaking out about things that matter. And so as people continue to say all lives matter, it's a reminder that if you're Muslim and you're in Lebanon, then this explosion that killed a lot of people and traumatized a lot of people don't matter. So, and that's the way it appears on mainstream television, you know? So ultimately I posted, we've all been posting, we've all been sending our prayers and condolences. And that's exactly why it's important that we keep this conversation going, because, you know, I've often said this, Joe, because no one in my house has cancer, it shouldn't mean that people dealing with cancer don't matter. If there's no one that's gay or lesbian or transgender in my house, you should not care about what they're actually dealing with. You know, you should never say, you know, it's really sad to see what gay people are dealing with. We should all care, because whatever they're fighting for, whatever they're dealing with, whatever they're, you know, dealing with politically, you know, as well as Jewish people, you know, we're at the height of anti-Semitism, you know, where people, innocent Jewish people in the middle of prayers in the synagogue are being killed by the numbers. We have Asian people that are being beat up and bashed and killed because of coronavirus and dealing with racism at a heightened level right now. So I'm not Asian. I'm not transgender. I don't have cancer. I don't have HIV, AIDS, but I have a heart and I'm always concerned about what people are actually dealing with. And if I piss you off because I'm vocal and I speak up about real shit that matters, then I'm gonna go ahead and continue to piss you off, because I may not be Puerto Rican, I may not be Dominican, but I'm concerned about what the people of Puerto Rico and Dominica are dealing with.
That's right. Let me tell you something. That's beautifully said. I saw the post that you put up today for Ellen DeGeneres.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know the woman, but she seemed to be a beautiful person from what I could see.
Yeah.
Right? And real friends stick together no matter what the turbulence is.
Right.
And there's always a culture or something to it where everybody's taught to run away from their friends when they're having a problem. And I commend you for being loyal and being a stand-up guy and just saying, hey, that's my friend. There should be nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah. I think, you know, I don't want to be more human. I want to be more Christ-like. And when you're Christ-like, you understand specifically, especially when you're a public figure, we're mid-flight and we're building our plane. We're trying to figure it all out as the world is watching. It's no different than Britney Spears and all of her controversy. I got a 9-minute crying video on the internet with me fighting for custody of my daughter. I became the meme, the running joke, the what more do you want from me? And even I was surprised at people that I've been knowing and giving nothing but love and utmost respect to. But then you realize that a hater has a job to do.
Mm.
You're willing to create a username and a password, put a password in, and your name is Blue58 and you're anonymous. Your life is miserable, and all you want to do is tear people's life down because they happen to be a public figure and you're not. Nobody wants to be unemployed. Every hater out there, they all have a job to do. And what I look forward to the most is if somebody hates on me the way they've hated on you over the years, because it happens, my question becomes, what am I supposed to learn from it? Tearing me down and beating me down while I'm down, that's one thing. But tearing me down, ripping me a new one, and me being able to say, oh shit, I never thought about it like that. You're giving me an opportunity to grow. Because most of us don't grow while we're at the top of the mountain pounding on our chest. Most of our character development, our spiritual growth, our mental, psychological growth, emotional growth, family growth. You know, you're close to your wife. I'm enamored and in love with my wife. As close as we are, it's actually happened during our most pivotal and trying times.
That's
Real
right.
decisions about how we love each other were better defined while we were dealing with real shit. So I am not close to Ellen. We are not best friends. I don't even know if we are considered friends. I do know I have met her uh, many times over the last 15 years, rather events. I've been on her show probably 3 times. And I can
You
just
know,
say, all that.
let's go there, right? So let's just say this whole new thing called cancel culture,
Yeah,
where you could take someone who you've been cheering for life and has such a body of work, whether it's through music, whether it's through TV, whether it's through acting, whatever, right? And just like that, everybody wants to say, I don't like this person. We canceling them. And I don't I don't fuck with it. I don't like it
me neither.
at all. I don't like that you could just go at 1 second and say, I'm not feeling this person, and everybody starts, yo, we canceling this person. And it's sad, man. It's sad because, you know, and there's a lot of people I realized through this COVID. COVID showed you a lot of truth. And there's a lot of people doing bad out there.
Right.
And when it wasn't COVID and at least everybody was working or whatever, they could hide the hate. But now that a lot of people are really doing bad,
Right.
I see them lashing out at people who's been doing good. And it doesn't matter if they're white, black, Latino, whatever it is. I've seen some celebrities step out and say, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and get chewed up by their own fans talking about, yo, you ain't shit, you rich, yo,
Yeah.
this, like,
Yeah.
somebody told me in the house, a good friend of mine, like my sister, and then I'll let you answer. She was like, yo, the Kardashians ain't say shit. But, and I said, you know what? I've had friends hit me up and say, Joe, I want to support. I'm scared to say something because even if you say something positive, they're coming at you.
Yeah.
What do you think
Well,
about that, Ty?
what I can say, the truth is, and the front of your camera should be wiped down, big homie. It doesn't seem like it's clear. There you
I'm
go.
looking handsome as shit. But, yo, wipe down the front of the camera, ass, because he's saying it's blurry.
Yeah, it
Executive
looks a little
producer, you know my daughter's executive producer. We keeping
love
the
it.
money in the family.
Absolutely. There you go. Pow. That much better. There you
Damn, man, look at that shit. Joey Green Eyes.
go. Oil's
Yeah,
coming in,
yeah,
baby.
yeah, you see that shit? Yeah, yeah. But Ty, can you answer that question?
Well, you know, here's the thing, Joe. It's not in everybody's cards to speak up and speak out about real shit that matters. And I would also say it's not fair to put that pressure on people. There's people right now who voted for Trump that would be ashamed to say publicly that they voted for Trump. But yet they on Instagram every day talking about Black Lives Matter. At the end of the day, you just got to say, you know what? If I could influence you, or maybe I can figure out a way to make you feel comfortable with speaking up and speaking out about something that doesn't come natural for you. See, I thank God every day I'm a hood nigga. See, because they can't take nothing from me that they never gave me.
Speak on it.
So ultimately, when I've dealt with my share of controversy and backlash, and I've written 2 New York Times bestsellers that make people uncomfortable, I do my interviews addressing real shit, and I don't always get it right, but I know my heart is right. And when you deal with that radio interview that goes viral, or that Instagram or that tweet that goes viral, you just got to hold that shit and just say, man, you know, I know what I meant, but people twisted my words and misinterpreted this and that. You go viral. Some niggas do it on purpose. Some niggas got the Tekashi 6ix9ine package where they gonna say, I thrive on going viral, and it's a form of narcissism where you'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you're a part of the conversation, because there's an empty hole inside of you where you have to chase relevancy. You have to maintain hotness at all costs. And then there's some people that end up going viral because they speak up and speak out about things that matter. And when they go viral, they would say, damn, I didn't know the backlash was going to come on that level, but it happened because I decided to speak up and speak out. And the fear that gets created amongst people that's like, man, I'm losing a lot of sleep over George Floyd. What should I do? What should I do? Then they'll see somebody else jump out there and say something. They get their ass ripped up for speaking up. And then they say, oh, I ain't gonna say shit. You see what they did to such and such. You know,
for me, I don't think everybody.
At the end of the day, if you've went your whole career and you're a movie star, you're a producer, you're a director, you're a singer, you're a rapper, you're a writer, you're someone of significance with any kind of a fan base, and you've never spoke out ever in your life about anything, and these are your fans, 1 million, 5 million, 10 million followers. If you decide to go from ass shots on Instagram to speaking up about shit that matters, you're not giving your specific fan base what they're used to. But my fans are used to me speaking up. So even if I catch a little heat, it's not going to be as much heat as somebody who has never addressed anything. So I think out of fairness to them, if you've never spoke out about anything and you don't really know how to speak out about anything, even if you're quietly donating to families, quietly donating to the movement, quietly donating to charity, and you got receipts to say, look, I didn't put the shit up on my Instagram, but I donated to these families and these attorneys that are representing these families. Just do something.
My thing is, Tyrese, I don't hold nobody to what they've done in the past or what they said years ago. I think we all can grow, we all can change, we all can see our faults. We all, and if what we're looking for is inclusion, and we're looking for everybody to become one and everybody to be equal, then I commend anybody who comes in the conversation and says, you know what, I see what you've been talking about. Because a lot of times, I said this before, but I'll say it to you, being that you're talking real shit, is a lot of times, believe it or not, some white people don't really know the type of racism that's going on with the police in the cities. They just don't. The camera phone brought it to the light.
That's it.
Other than that, they were like, what do you mean? The cops treat us nice.
Right.
Like, what are y'all talking about? Like,
Yeah.
and
But
so now when they see it on video,
what I spoke on earlier, which is because cancer's not at your front door, you shouldn't turn the blinds eye on what people are actually dealing with. Nobody else has the coronavirus. One tested positive for COVID. And for you to be going public saying, oh, they putting too much emphasis on it. It's not that bad. It's this, is that. You know what? The shit ain't showed up to your house. So therefore, you're downplaying it or acting as if it just doesn't exist at all. And that's a part of the problem. Like
I hate that.
right now. And I would never do this because I'm a man of integrity. But I swear to God, bro. And you know, I got sheikhs and royals. I got billionaires. I got every pop rapper, producer, director, whether you're heads of studios. I mean, I'm on calls with at least $1 billion a week worth of just high profile people that I rock with. The conversations that I'm having with people, just trying my best to educate them and activate the sensitivities in what we're living and dealing with. If they were to ever have their text messages in my phone to go public, or to ever have their conversations that they're having with me that displays that they're fully out of touch with what the fuck is going on, they'll never be able to breathe another day in this town. Because just it exposes, like, wow, you're in the suburbs, you're not only white, but your worldview is through the lens of white, which is completely out of touch with what the fuck we have to live every day. I said, listen, you may say, oh, you live in this, you're worth this, you're Tyrese, you live in this area. When I get pulled over, my question is, will I never see my 2 daughters again? Because I'm looking in my rearview mirror and I notice that when I get pulled over in my Wraith, they already got their hand on their gun. And are they gonna unload on my car and figure out a way to manipulate it and
I
justify?
want to know why my father is 80 years old and a man never did a crime in his life or never got locked up, worked hard. Why he starts shaking when the cops roll up behind him?
They just
You know
got
what I'm saying?
this new footage just went out of a whole family of like 6 or 7, including kids, laying out on the ground face down, getting harassed by police officers. So
Bullshit, man.
it's you know, it's a, you know, they call it white privilege, but I would say white reality. And the reality of white people and the pressures that they live every day. And people who know me know that I don't have a racist bone in my body. And I think instead of feeling away and getting mad and angry, which I am, you have to be a friend and you have to say, you can't expect me to understand the sensitivities of the Holocaust if I'm not Jewish. You can't expect me to understand the sensitivities of different traumas that have happened with races or nationalities, people of Africa that specifically dealt with slavery. Now, we can say slaves were brought in from Africa to America in all different parts, but to be African American, we feel the sensitivities of slavery, but imagine the sensitivities that Africans feel who still live and was born and raised in Africa, who's able to say, I had cousins, family, and friends that were put on the boat from Africa and shipped into America. And so, again, transgender, gay, lesbian, cancer, HIV, AIDS, the Jewish community, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Persians, Asians. I just simply ask that everybody say, look, whatever your race, nationality is, whatever your belief system may be, have a heart and just decide to say, I'm not Jewish, but I'm going to pray for the Jewish people that we just seen and witnessed who dealt with a mass shooting in their synagogue. Pray for the Black men and women who were praying in church, who had that white guy to come in and shoot up the church. Pray for George Floyd's family, Eric Garner. Pray for Biggie's mother, who still to this day have an unsolved case and still losing sleep because it seems like they're not even remotely trying to figure out or get to the bottom of who killed her child. So in our minds, Biggie Small is a lyricist. He's an icon. He's a legend. He's everything that we miss about hip hop. But we still have a mother who will never see her son again. And her sleepless nights and her tears, they don't only come around when it's Biggie's birthday or the anniversary of his death. Just like all of these other parents who lose their child to murder, excessive force, brutality, and they're trying to convince us that we didn't see what we know we saw. There's now 10 documentaries about Biggie's murder, but yet the case is still unsolved. So I have a heart, and I'm an alpha, I'm loud, I'm aggressive, I piss people off all the time, but I'm an empath, and I carry the energy of people that deal with traumatic shit. And although I became a joke and a mockery, what more do you want from me? There was also a whole lot of people that prayed for me and never seen any of the things that I was dealing with and never even remotely found it to be funny.
That was me. That was me. I was with you. Shout out my brother Dre from Cool and Dre. I mean, and I know you was going through some big shit. And I know you love your daughter, because my daughter's my world. And
Yes,
I
sir.
understood as a dad what you was going through. And I was like, you know, this man's going through a lot because my daughter's my world. So I get it on another level, right? I wanna lighten the moment.
Yeah.
Talk about the OG, the late great John Singleton.
Jesus.
The man was my guy. He used to hang out with me in the Bronx and in Washington Heights. He was in places he shouldn't have been. Dominican after-hour joints with me. And we had the time of our lives together. And people don't know, I'll give you a Joprah moment. He wanted me to play in the movie Shaft. And you know, this guy's a real big actor. I don't know his name, the black dude, but he's huge now. But at the time, he wasn't huge. And John wanted me to play that role. But I was so caught up in that rap shit and running around, show to show, hanging, I missed out on that moment.
Wow.
Tell me about John Singleton. Tell me about Baby Boy. How did that come apart? How did that come about?
So we got something in common, man. My first movie role that John Singleton wanted me to do before I did Baby Boy was Shaft.
Wow.
And like you want me to be on a movie set, but I'm over here in the clubs, popping bottles with models and running through every video vixen I can, living my best life. And I can't even attempt to wrap my head around action, cut, check the gate on a movie set. So whatever the movie is, whatever it's about, you know, I'm not going to slow down anything that has to do with this music game that I've been praying and desiring my whole life. And then the weirdest thing is this, you know, I'm a hood nigga from South Central LA, born and raised, and as crazy as this may sound, one of my biggest fears was my niggas I grew up with saying, you went Hollywood. And then as I did movies and got into the game, I realized that going Hollywood is not a career choice, but it's when you started acting brand new. When you got your nose up in the air, you on some bougie diva shit, you got 40 niggas around you, you act like you can't touch, you can't call niggas back and back brand new. You running around here with nose jobs and all this goofy shit. So, you know, I'm at 9 billion in box office receipts and I'm still not Hollywood. It's a career choice, but personality type.
Tyrese, how did you get this role, Baby Boy? Was it for you?
Baby Boy happened because
this Jody, that Jody is iconic.
Yeah,
was that always? Did he write that for you?
Baby Boy happened. Jody was originally written for Tupac.
Hold up, Tyrese. Hold up. This is a Joprah moment. Like, yo, you gotta stop. Jody was written for Tupac Shakur originally.
Jody was written for Tupac.
Wow, man.
Talk about it for years. He said to me, true story, when Pac was in LA shooting the video To Live and Die in LA, they shot it off of Crenshaw. Singleton's office was off of Crenshaw. He walked up to Pac in the middle of the video shoot and said, I wrote a movie for you. Pac was raised by his mom. Rest in peace, Miss Afeni Shakur. And he said, I got the perfect movie to tell your story. He wrote the movie for Tupac.
Wow.
And probably 5 to 6 months later, whatever the timeline was, rest in peace to the God, John was so traumatized and devastated about losing Pac. He put the whole movie Baby Boy on the shelf and was done. And then he ran into me and he said, you remind me of Pac. You remind me of Pac. The way we laugh, we're opinionated, we're alpha, we're studied. He wasn't specifically comparing me to Pac. He just said, you a real nigga from the West. You got this energy about you. And my mother had 4 kids that she raised on her own. And so I was the last child of 4, which I was literally a baby boy. It's in my office, baby. Singleton, Dre, picture. Okay. So basically he said, I want you to play Baby Boy. And again, because I was on some goofy shit at the time, chasing my music career, I don't think I was ready. And so John kept calling, kept hitting me, ran into me, BET Awards, NAACP Awards, wherever I was out on my goofy shit, chasing my music career, kept saying, Baby Boy, it's your movie, it's your movie. Fast forward, it's time for him to finally get Baby Boy off the ground. He said, where are you at? I said, I'm at the house. He said, send me your address. This is back when we had SkyTel 2-ways. I opened the door. I was there at the house by myself. He walked straight into my house, and I was like, okay, well, shit, what's going on? He got to my dinner table, Joe. He pulled out the script to Baby Boy. He said, you've been avoiding me, nigga. This is your movie. I said, okay. Show you a picture real quick.
Wow. That was when it happened? No, but you got Dr. Dre in that one, huh?
Couple of years after. There was a conversation that Dre was supposed to do the soundtrack for Baby Boy.
Wow.
So he shows up to my dinner table with the Baby Boy script. He started reading the script to me because I didn't read it. He got like 7 to 10 pages in. He said, man, fuck this. You read the script. I looked at him. I was like, all right. So he sat there with his thick glasses on, looking down at his Skytail two-way, and he made me read the script cover to cover at my dinner table. And even after I read it, he left the crib. We had like a 2-hour conversation about the movie. I told him, it's crazy. I really feel like I'm reading my life right now. And he said, that's what I'm telling you, nigga. I keep telling you, this is your movie. So fast forward 4 months later, Kim Harden, the casting agent at the time, shout out to her, they said, you're baby boy. You got the role. And then I ended up watching the movie, The Hurricane. They offered me the role, but I still never said yes to Jodie. I watched the movie The Hurricane with Denzel Washington, where he played Reuben Hurricane Carter.
I watched that movie.
After I watched that movie, I knew it was time for me to become an actor. So shout out to Denzel Washington. He's the reason I'm at 9 billion box office receipts. His performance in that movie spoke to me and made me do something that I never wanted to do before I seen that movie. So instead of me saying yes to the role, I said to John Singleton, I'm coming in to audition for the role, even though you gave it to me. So I went to the swap meet. I went and got my Chuck Taylors, my Dickies, my Ben Davison outfit, my T-shirt, my beanie, hanging it off my head. I went into the role, and if you go on YouTube right now, the footage of me auditioning for Baby Boy with Taraji is all over the internet. You can watch it. Now, when Taraji came in to audition for the role, I had already done my audition and earned the role by myself. And then after I earned the role that same day, he said, do you mind staying here? Because we got someone who wants to come in and play the role of Yvette. We got all these female actresses coming in for the role, and I'm nervous as shit, never acted a day in my life. Now this nigga want me to stay in the audition and help audition all of the females that's going to be opposite me, what's called a chemistry test. We went through like 15, 20 women. Taraji came in. She hit the shit completely out the park. 9 billion in box office receipts later, here I am.
Let me tell you something, my brother, man. I loved you and Jodie. As Jodie, it was iconic. That whole movie was just crazy. Shout out to Raji. Your mama, she's somebody for the women empowerment. The Women Empowerment Week. We should track down to Raji. Women Empowerment Zone. Next week, I'm doing all women. So I got Keisha Cole on Monday. I got Tamika Mallory on Tuesday. I'm trying to get Mary J. Blige to everybody. Women Empowerment Zone.
You
right?
got it. You got to do.
Now let me tell you, you on two of the biggest franchise, Fast and Furious. First of all, a guy like.
I'm gonna tell you a true story about Taraji, really quick.
Yes, sir.
Very important. Someone that I respect and look up to this day, because father of her child was murdered in the D.C. area. She left D.C., Maryland area, came to L.A. with a hope and a prayer and a dream, and had probably $12 in her pocket. Single mother, father of her child, brutally murdered. There was probably 4 women that came in that no one has ever heard of. Everybody else who came in for the role were either currently on sitcoms or already established actresses that were already on. Taraji, no one ever seen, no one ever heard of, came in and had nothing to lose and hit the audition so out the park. She got that fucking role.
She fought for her life.
She fought for
her life.
Because she's like, look, I don't know who any of these other motherfuckers are. I don't care about their records, resume, or Wikipedia page. But this role right here, my life is depending on it. And she hit that thing so far out the park. John had the nerve to ask me, what do you think? I said, bro, I don't know if my opinion matters, but as far as what I just seen, I know who this, I don't want to even give away the names. I know this person, I know who that person is, but Taraji was undeniable, and the rest is history. So I'm
You
proud.
know, I don't want to add gasoline to fire, but it's a similar story I told to Ashanti when Irv called me and saved my life. Him and Jaru made What's Love for Me. They was thinking the Latino movement and J-Lo on the hook, but Ashanti had did the reference and she sounded so amazing that I was like, yo, let's use her on that. And that's one of her first songs that took off like that. And for me, I believe in artists. You know, sometimes I've had writers write hooks for certain artists in mind, and they do it so incredible that I'll leave them on the song because I don't think nobody can actually do it as well as them. I'm going to go to your two franchises, Transformers, Fast and Furious. You know, here we deal out of love.
Yep.
We love you. We love The Rock. Is everything straight with you and The Rock? Did y'all get back? Is everything good?
Next question.
Next question. Okay. So we'll go to the next question. I hope I wasn't out of line. Okay.
We're not out of line. You're Joprah.
I love that. Let me tell you something.
What I will say, thing that I feel and felt about that man in that situation at the time, because I'm too real to fake it. I've already expressed all that. I can say to you that what I love about social media and what I love about life is that you get an opportunity to express exactly how you feel. I've never had a problem with that man. It really just came down to survival. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, if you could ever see yourself saying, you know what, I don't have a competitive bone in my body. I pride myself literally on not beefing and not going at nobody, not having no issues with nobody. But, you know, I'm a hood nigga that will protect survival at all costs. And so whatever the politics was, whatever happened, however it happened, you know, I was very vocal about speaking up and speaking out about my situation and my feelings in and around the whole situation. So it's not in me to say anything new about that man. I wish him the best. He's a great father and now a husband. And, you know, I've like literally, if you look at footage or photos all over the internet, I mean, he's a giant bear. Like, he's just a great, great guy with a big heart. And we just kind of got into a situation that ended up playing out for the world to see. But I don't have any ill will feelings. And, you know, we may end up doing Fast 10 and 11 together. You just never know. But ultimately, he, as a man, won't be able to say that he don't know exactly what I felt and what I feel about what happened, how it all happened. And at the end of the day, you know, through prayer and through other opportunities that have been extreme on a level of survival that I've been blessed with, including signing a 3-picture Marvel Comics deal, et cetera, et cetera. You know, I'm about survival. And if anything or anyone, whether it's public or private, gets in the way or tries to compromise that survival, you know, the hood nigga in me is gonna come up and show up every time. And that's just what it is. So I got love for The Rock. I wish him well. He's one of the biggest movie stars in the world. And, you know, I look up to him and respect him. We just had a situation and it ended up playing out for the world to see.
Well, shout out to Marvel giving the real one a check. let me ask you something. I'm not asking you because I know the answer to it, but we can't really talk about it. But you got new music coming, and you debuting it in CNN with my guy Don Lemon. We can't really talk about it, but how excited are you to be dropping some new music soon?
I'm very excited, and I'm very grateful that I sent you that private link and you put your eyes on it, because you mean so much to me and the culture. And I'm just grateful. You know, what I'm about to drop has already been watched and looked at by the likes of Todd Phillips, director of the Joker movie, Ava DuVernay, Denzel, attorney Benjamin Crump. You know, I can go on and on. D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, everybody imaginable that's kind of within my world. Me wanting to, Sean King, shout out to him. Everybody who matters to the culture has been able to put their eyes on what's to come. I cannot speak on it, but it's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever done musically. And
powerful and beautiful. It's powerful, painful, and beautiful at the same time. I see Marvin Gaye behind you.
And
I see Marvin Gaye behind you. And Marvin was true to the cause ahead of time, and he was talking about reality in music and everything that was going on at the time. And I take it he's one of your greatest inspirations.
Absolutely. Marvin Gaye, Teddy Pendergrass, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway. I'm gonna tell you something that I've never said publicly, but I'm writing about it in my book. I was introduced to R&B soul music via my alcoholic and drunk mother, who was an alcoholic for 27 years. R&B soul music became the soundtrack of her alcohol abuse. And so as I'm looking at my mother in her most vulnerable space, drinking her life away, thank God she's been sober now, going on 13 years by the grace of God. Shout out to Scott Storch. He hit me up the other day and he was wondering, like, yo, why did I post on Instagram him opening up a rehab center and having the most swagged out rehab center and facility I've ever seen in my life? Because when you're able to take your traumas and your pains and make the specific decision to say, it was embarrassing, it was a low of all lows for me, but how do I take this and realize, again, people are still out here dealing with cocaine and alcohol abuse and Molly and ecstasy and perk or whatever, the Xanax, whatever those addictions may be. And how do I create an environment that makes them make a decision to help themselves become a cool experience versus an embarrassing decision? And my mother, who introduced me to Marvin Gaye, Donny Hathaway, Stevie Wonder, the Isley Brothers, and Patti LaBelle, and I mean, I'm listening to this every single day. So when you hear songs like Shame, and I'm able to look at my wall, Joe, and say, here's a #1 album on the top 200 with a single that was #1 on Billboard for 16 weeks. I'm able to say in good conscience that what I bring to the R&B culture is connected to what I've learned from listening to my alcoholic drunk mother at the time play R&B soul music all day, every day. in my house. And so if it ain't true R&B soul music, my brain can't even process it. And so yeah, that's why Marvin Gaye is in my studio. I'm gonna show you my studio. Got the Thundercat right there. As I walk back, this is my studio. And you know, Marvin, you ain't got no inspiration to create in this studio. I tell a nigga, you need to stab yourself with a number 2 pencil in your left knee.
You know, it's crazy, right? Because thank God my mom's never drank, but I learned all my R&B from my mother too. My mother and my aunt Barbara playing Stephanie Mills, and
Yes.
they played everything. They played Evelyn Champagne King.
Loves you, babe.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, they played all that good music in my house. And when you go Shane, SOS band, all that.
Oh man.
And that's where I got, you know, where I could make songs like What's Love or I Won't Tell or Another Round or whatever, that R&B influence.
That's right.
When I think of you, I was going to ask you what's your top 5 R&B singers
God.
of all time.
Of all time. Ready.
Did you give me your top 5 already, or do you have a top 5?
I got a top 5.
Let me hear your top 5.
Well, here's my best answer. When I first started singing, I gravitated towards singers who were multi-talented. They were writers, producers, songwriters. They sung all their own vocals and did all their own backgrounds, and they were amazing live performers. So my number 1 was Brian McKnight.
Ooh, that's your favorite of all time?
This is when I first got on. I'm not, you know.
I love Brian McKnight.
My top 5 has shifted over the years.
Mine shift every week.
You know, it's so Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway, R. Kelly, and who else? Jesus. Number 5. Who would number 5 be? Teddy Pendergrass.
That's a mean starting 5.
Yeah. R. Kelly, with all of his videos, what he was doing musically and sonically, and how he figured out a way to change and evolve and stay relevant over all of those years. I know he's got a lot of controversy and heat on him. I get it. So ain't no need to get in my comments. And if you write some goofy shit, I'm going to say it's okay. Tyrese,
no fear, no problem saying R. Kelly
nowadays. Say it. I'm too real to fake it, man. I just have to say it. Like, what I've learned over the years, man, is that there's a lot of people in our industry, rather music, acting, producing, directing, studio execs, billionaires, real estate, the tech space. Everybody is involved in something that they don't ever want people to know about publicly. And I would say, you know what? Just let God do his job. And if I were to find out about what everybody is into, we probably wouldn't be a fan of anybody.
That is a fact.
There's some people that do what they do and they know how to keep their shit completely in the closet. And again, when you have drug problems, you are alcoholic, or you got vices that may be inappropriate, or whatever the case may be, you're just trying your best to do whatever it is that you're doing, just hoping that people don't find out about it. But I'm a Christian man, and I have found that Christian people are the most judgmental, and that's one of the scriptures in the Bible that says, you know, thou shalt not judge. And when you know what you know about people, you're supposed to say, yo, I ain't fucking with that. Keep that over there. But I happen to be a fan of Denzel. I happen to be a fan of Christian Bale. I happen to be a fan of the people that I'm a fan of. And then you see certain things play out for public consumption, and it breaks your heart. But you just say, you know what? I was never a fan of yours because of what you're into in your personal life or whatever those struggles may be. I'm a fan of yours because of your gifts and your talents as an actor, as a writer, as a producer, you know. And so, yeah, that's my top 5.
My greatest of all time. I'll give you my number 1. Luther Vandross is my greatest of all time.
My God, that's what I'm saying. Luther Vandross. Come on, man. I wanna tell you, baby, the
changes I've been going through, missing you, missing you. So yeah. You know I'm a fake singer.
Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm a fake singer. Don't do that to me. You know, Luther, he everything to me.
No. Come on, man. Don't get me started, bro.
Luther's my guy. I got Michael Jackson second.
Jesus.
I got damn, this is crazy. You crazy with it. So it's Luther. I got Michael Jackson. I got, man, third. I don't want nobody to kill me, but third, I go Stephanie Mills third.
Wow.
And the reason why I say it had to be a female there. And I'm battling Shante, Anita Baker, and Stephanie Mills.
Oh my God. Anita Baker.
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you the craziest story real quick. The first and only single that I had released from my first album was a song called Lately that I wrote 100% of and even co-produced. 20 years later, I developed this amazing relationship, mentorship. I'm the mentee, she's the mentor. Can't even believe I know Anita Baker. She says to me that I love your song Lately. She starts singing my song Lately just randomly in her concerts. Footage is all over YouTube.
Wow.
She ends up doing a remake of my song Lately, which is on iTunes right now. Changed my life forever. My version of Lately became an appetizer. Her version of Lately became the main course meal.
You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song.
Listen, Anita Baker changed my life forever. We've had heart-to-heart conversations and moments over the years that I'm going to go to the grave with, where I'm in the presence of Anita Baker. Again, another person that I was introduced to via my mother, who kept her album.
She's just different. She's just Anita Baker's music. La, da, 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 da,
You're in concert listening to Anita Baker and Luther Vandross. Now I'm a singer. I know you a rap and you got love for R&B soul.
Yeah, but I know singing too,
bro.
Trust me.
But Joe, I'm in the audience of these singers, and I'm in the front row. Like, I can't believe sonically and musically that I'm hearing what I'm hearing coming out of their mouths live. I can't believe it. I've been to 15 Luther Vandross concerts, probably 20 Anita Baker concerts, 30 Stevie Wonder concerts. Can't believe what I was able to hear with my own ears. And I'm going to hold on to it for the rest of my life. And what I bring to R&B soul It's a lot of goofy shit out here, a lot of it. But I respect it, because if niggas was relying on me to keep the R&B culture afloat, should have been dead a long time ago. So I gotta live and respect the culture, rather it's hip hop and the culture is shifting, and you gotta say, I don't know what this mumble rap shit is, this and that, but it's winning, and I gotta respect what these young niggas is bringing to the culture. However, if it ain't that R&B, I don't want it, because
facts, and that wins everything.
it was what
That
I was raised with.
that crowns everything. That is everything, and it's evident when you see somebody like D Nice, who comes in a quarantine and starts playing all the records that we don't hear in the club, but somehow breaks the fucking internet because the real shit.
I'm gonna tell you why he broke the internet. First of all, God is always gonna take care of good people. And this culture called music, and this culture called Hollywood, all these goofy niggas is always on the train of who's hot and who's not, who's relevant, who matters, who's this, who's got the sizzle on them. But this is the season for good people to win. Has always been good people. His name is D Nice. Nice guy. This quarantine has put all the right people back on the forefront. It's introduced us to a few goofy niggas that's going viral, but like a microwave, it's gonna get hot real quick. But the moment you open that microwave, that shit is out of here. I respect you because you mean everything to the culture, and you've been around. Your Big Pun, your Biggie, your Craig Mack, your Diddy, your Andre Harrell, your DMX. I know you, Joe. I know how much you mean to the culture. I know how long you've been in the game. I know about the highs and the lows. I remember your plus size before you got to your small size. I know everything. I've studied you. I understand you. I know all about the Terror Squad. I know what you're doing out here. I want you to know the turtle wins the race.
Turtle wins the race.
I tell niggas every day, I've never claimed to be the biggest star. I have not sold the most records. I have not been the most relevant nigga in the game pertaining to people's opinion. But I'm still here. 25,000 square foot mansion in Buckhead. I can pay the motherfucker off if I want to tomorrow. I love what it's doing for my credit score, that I'm paying my mortgage.
Yo, I need one more thing from you. Being that you're such an incredible actor, your top 5 actors of all time.
Denzel Washington is number 1 and number 2. Christian Bell. Viola Davis.
She's amazing. She is the female Denzel.
There you go.
She is the female Denzel. She's incredible.
I would also say Joaquin Phoenix.
He's amazing, bro.
And other than Denzel, and I didn't say this in no particular order, it's definitely Denzel for me, number 1 and number 2. But Leonardo DiCaprio happens to be the most intimidating. When I'm in the presence of Leonardo DiCaprio and Denzel,
talk to me.
I just have to have a moment of sitting my ass down to say, I can't believe I'm in the same room. I can't believe you know my name.
I'm gonna tell you some shit. I was at the Beyonce show. I performed with Khaled in LA. There's a dude standing on the side. He comes up to me. He got a hoodie on where there's only a hole like this. He says, "What's up, Joe?" I said, "What's up?" He says, "Me, Leonardo." Listen, I'm going to post that picture for you. Listen to me. When you talk about groupie Joe, I told, nah, yo, listen to me. I said, "Oh, no, you got to take that hoodie. We got to take that pic." I don't do that for nobody.
Yo.
I caught him that one time. I said, "Oh, no, we got to get the pic." Like, Leonardo's so serious. I was like, "Yo," and he took the pic with me. I'm glad I ain't blow up his spot. Nobody saw it. But then he started telling me about shows I had. Like, he was like, "Yo, I went in Webster Hall when you and Big Pun performed. I went to this show over here, Lyricist Lounge. Y'all performed and Eminem opened it." He was telling me like he was in the crowd watching Fat Joe shows.
Yo,
I never knew.
You know, first of all, niggas don't notice that Leonardo DiCaprio is one of the original white chocolates. I would say the number 2 white chocolate would probably be Brett Ratner. There's nobody who is completely enamored and have the utmost respect for hip hop and the sensitivities around black culture than those two. In my opinion. I would also say to you that as I got Leonardo DiCaprio's number in my phone and we text all the time, these are the type of people that you would have to put up there in the stratosphere of James.
They gods.
Cameron, Avatar, Beyonce, Black is King. I would say to Jay-Z, if you ever see your wife in a room in a basement and she seems like she's creatively in a space, we should just leave her alone, because the things that's running through her mind and the creative responsibility, the torch that God has put on her creatively, we have to protect that at all costs. She just did with Lemonade, what she just did with her Netflix documentary, what she just did with Black is King. She reintroduced me to my own blackness. Beyonce made me say, I'm kind of embarrassed that I'm considered African American. Black is King made me want to be specifically African. Because she put them cameras and shed light on all things Africa in a way that I had never seen before, because this is the problem.
Tyrese, let me tell you something. You know, Fat Joe been all over Africa. Afro B's in the thing. I've been in pretty much every part of Africa. And I sat there with, let's say, African-American rappers and asked them, these guys, I can't do it because, forget it. Like, I ain't going to go goofy on you. But these guys talk consciousness and black power. And I've sat there with them and said, yo, I just got back from Africa. They tell me, you went to Africa? Fuck you doing in Africa?
Right.
I'm like, yo, they love you in Africa. They got posters of you in Africa. They'll chase you. And so when we start talking about,
you're not appreciated. And
when we start talking about Black Lives Matter, and we start talking about how they treating us in America, our African brothers say, yo, you got your own continent. Come on.
Bro, listen.
Come on.
Don't know is that in South Africa, $1 US is 16 of their local dollars. So I've been private plane shopping for the last 5 years to buy my plane in South Africa via a broker, because $1 US is 16. I don't need niggas to know it's me, but I'm definitely plane shopping. Because $1 US is 16 of theirs locally.
You know, my daughter's favorite restaurant is Benihana, and something came up in social media where you got the Benihana thing in the yard. It's just like, yo, Dad, Tyrese got the Benihana in the crib.
If you guys come to LA, you got my intel, literally because we're in the middle of this Rona.
Let me tell you something.
Look
I
up.
love you, Tyrese, and I thank you for everything you're doing. I can't wait. Well, I already saw.
Watch the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance with Scottie Pippen in my backyard inside of Gipsy Hanna. They got Benny Hanna, I got Gipsy Hanna. They got McDonald's, I got Owls.
McDowell's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine watching the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance with Scottie Pippen. The footage is on my Instagram. I'm gonna put the shit back up today.
You know, Scotty's my brother.
Scottie is
he's my brother.
Neighbor. He lives 7 houses down from my house now.
Well, he was my neighbor in Miami, and I was in his house all the time. And so when this Last Dance happened, I hit up Scotty and I said, "Yo, Scotty."
Scotty.
I said, "Yo, Scotty." What I got this thing called a Joprah show. Come on. And he said, "My brother, this Last Dance gives me too much pain, and I don't want to go through it no more. You know, I love you, but I don't want to talk to nobody about this shit right here." And yo, I love Scottie Pippen. He's one of the best guys I ever met in my life.
Can you imagine?
It's an honor.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you imagine this? Let me paint this picture, and I'll spare the world because we on live. Can you imagine watching the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance that he had never seen in my backyard with all of his sons?
Those are my guys.
And to have a conversation with him right after the last 2 episodes went off. He at the house for like 3 hours after it went off to see his energy, to listen to him and talk to him about whatever he was thinking and feeling after watching the last 2 episodes of The Last Dance with his sons in my backyard. I mean, it's a moment that I'm gonna take to the grave for the rest.
God wanted you to have that. That's the only way I can explain that to you. God wanted you to have that moment right there. There's just no other way around it.
These are those one-of-a-kind moments.
Yes, it is.
You got a book on you, Joe.
Well, you know, I got a book. I'm writing it right now. The Fat Joe book. Shout out Rock Nation and Random House. It's almost done. They want 50,000 words. I got about 35,000 already. It's gonna be powerful.
I got a title for you.
Talk to me.
The Pivot.
The what?
The Pivot.
The pivot, like in basketball?
Yeah.
Don't move your pivot?
The Pivot. What you've been able to do with Terror Squad in your overall career, no different than Khaled, no different than a lot of folks that's in your world, in your circle. You've had to study the game, watch the game, monitor the culture, look at who's hot, who's not, and you've had to instinctively figure out a way to pivot. Stay in the game, stay on top of your game, deal with niggas saying, "Oh, he's, oh, Fat Joe ain't," but yet you're still here. You're the turtle. But the wisdom is in the pivot. Wisdom is in the pivot. When AI crossed over Tyrone Lue, when AI crossed over MJ, he had to study the body movement, study the culture, and then, got him.
I had AI on here the other day.
The pivot.
He said he knew that when he ever played Michael Jordan, who was his idol, he was going to run that move by him. He said it right here on this show.
The Pivot.
The Pivot. If not, the title of the book is definitely a chapter. I love you, Tyrese. I'm with you all the way. We thank you. The big show. Thanks you for coming on. And I'll holler at you later, all right?
Yes, sir. Bless, homie.
God bless you. Love you, bro.
All right.
You don't know who I know. You don't know who I know. I knew Tyrese was coming on here, sexy chocolate, so I had to throw the silk on. just to give you the alternative. Shout out to Relish, my stylist. Had to throw some diamonds on because I knew he was too rich. You don't know who I know. Rasha Belasi, salam alaikum. How many times I gotta do this? If it ain't Floyd Mayweather, it's Iverson. If it ain't Iverson, it's Tyrese. You guys are sick. I'm killing you. You don't like me? You a hater? You're dying. Because we killing the game. Let me see big, 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 big. Big, 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 big. Big, 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 big. My beautiful goddaughter has arrived. The Mackeys are here. Pat Poose and Remy Ma. Tonight she's not cooking, but she bought me some good food. And y'all, let me tell you, that food was good last night, Remy.
Thank you.
Y'all just missed Tyrese. You know the show the biggest in the game. And I fucked up because I wanted him to go, always Coca-Cola. Yo, man, I fucked up because I had it planned so he could say, always Coca-Cola. But I forgot, man.
Which one do you want from me?
We did talk about it in great length. The man ain't think it was so funny. You know, he loves his daughter. And that was a moment. If I ever had a moment where I wasn't with my wife and they took my daughter away from me, I would feel just like that. So I knew his pain and I knew what he was going through. That's real shit. You think about it. As attached we are to our kids, our daughters. It's painful, bro. And sometimes, I don't know the lady and I don't want to talk about her, but sometimes they use these kids sometimes to hurt you or hurt your feelings.
Biological warfare.
Yeah.
Biological warfare?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a bar, Ram.
No.
Y'all let her come over and see if she comes.
What's those?
Now, these Sakai's white. You know, I got fly because I knew Tyrese was coming, chocolate. Yo, come here. Let me see her. Come on, mommy. Come, God Papa. She don't want to come to God Papa. God Papa, I love you. God Papa, love you. Let me see your sneakers. Wow, I love these sneakers. You match me. Oh, I love you. You like your mother now. Let me see. Come here. No? No, God Papa. I love you. Y'all. Golden Child is in the building. She kept us up to 3 in the morning. 3:32. And lucky she fell asleep then. Shout out to everybody out there. How did your Lakers do?
We got blown out by 20.
Oh, that's terrible, man. This is bad.
Nah, they bet on them.
Thank God you ain't bet on them.
We got blown out by 20.
Nah, that boy CB3 the truth, man. DJ Nasty, what's good? Pristine Jewelers to the stars. Yo, Pristine, let me tell you something. My birthday coming up. I remember the year you threw the diamonds on me on the boat. Shout out to the Ridingers. That was what? Utopia 3. You came and you threw diamonds on me. I need something sexy for my birthday. Something big in the game. Because we only live once. My birthday in 2 weeks. You ain't never see an OG look sexy like this. It's impossible. See that shit? Don't do that to yourself, man. Take care of myself. And you don't know who I know. Tomorrow night, There's a mean verses. There's a mean verses tomorrow night. The show will start. El Drippy, that's right. The show will start 7 o'clock Eastern. I never go up against the verses. Timbo the King. Shout out my boy OG Wayno from the hood. Timbo the King. Swiss Beats. The verses. Tyrese was talking a lot of real shit today. And man, legendary. Tomorrow night, write it down, 7 p.m. Eastern. I need you to put God first. I need you to take care. Shout out Joel Santana. He's home. Bobby Smurder around the corner. Cousin Miriam, what's up? Friday, I don't want to take. Friday, Rick Ross, 2 Chainz on the Big Show. I thank y'all for watching me. You could be watching girls twerking. You could be watching some other journalists disrespecting your legends, shitting on them. I thank you. You ain't going for controversy. You're coming for love. Without faith, there's nothing. Put God first. I'm praying for Lebanon and everybody who needs prayer. COVID-19 is real. East Philly, I see you. COVID-19 is real. Get masked up. Get your hand sanitizer. Keep washing your hands. Because people I know keep getting it. Billy Blanco, watch yourself. Keep the mask on. I heard y'all threw the old school. Shout out my man Tone Lynchmark. I heard y'all threw an old school secret society in the Bronx. Ted Smooth, Tony Touch. I heard it was crazy out there. I couldn't go because I heard nobody had a mask on. I'm not going to do it. Shout out Success Tone. I heard he was the only one in the whole thing with a mask on. 1,000 people. Protect yourself. I love you. This is the Big, Big Show. Every Tuesday, 10 o'clock. Revolt TV. We the biggest in the game. Ain't nobody coming close. We hurting these guys. We are not going to lay off. Next week, Women Empowerment Zone. Women Empowerment Zone. Monday, Keisha Cole. Tuesday, Tamika Mallory. I'm on an MJ hunt. Mary J. Blige hunt. I usually get it done. Peace, y'all. Hi, Mama. Why you being so